Welcome to Middle School Academic Derby. I'm Brent Anderson, and I'll be your moderator for today's match between the Colts from Southwest Middle School and the Dolphins from Northwoods Park Middle School. Let's get started by introducing our teams. First, we have our team from Northwoods Park Middle School, coached by Carolyn Izell.
Isabel, grade 8.
Jacob Coleman, grade 8.
Aiden Hilton, grade 7.
Ashlyn Campbell, grade 6.
And now our team from Southwest Middle School, coached by Kara Jackson and Alyssa Cargbo.
Taylor CNC, grade 7.
Brittany Henson, grade 8.
Jessica Baker, grade 6.
Ian Lehman, grade 8.
Now in our first round, we're going to ask 7 questions to each team. If the first team doesn't answer, the second team will have a chance at the same question. After the first team has had a chance to answer all their questions, the second team will have the same opportunity. We're going to begin with our team on the top row, which is Southwest Middle School. So Southwest, here is your first question in our first round. And I will tell you right off the bat, it is a math question, so math computation. And in all of our math computation questions, we're going to read the question twice, and you'll have some extra time to come up with the answer, okay? So here's the first question for you guys for Southwest. A square has a diagonal of length 8 times the square root of 2. What is the area of the square? So again, a square has a diagonal of length 8 times the square root of 2. What is the area of the square? All right, Northwoods Park, anybody? All right, the answer we're looking for there is 64. All right, Southwest, your second question is an astronomy question. Because of the light it provides for gathering crops, the full moon nearest the autumnal equinox is often named with which word beginning with H for, quote, ingathering or reaping? Brittany.
Harvest Moon?
Harvest moon is correct. All right. Southwest, your next question is a music question, actually a music lyrics question. In the song, This Land Is Your Land, which word completes the following? This land is your land, this land is my land, from blank to the New York Island. Jessica.
California.
California is correct. Next, we have a vocabulary question for you, Southwest. What name beginning with S is given to the privilege of voting, a right granted to women in the 19th Amendment, ratified on August 18th, 1920? All right. Jacob.
Suffrage.
Suffrage is correct. All right. Next, we have a geography question for you, Southwest. Vancouver Island is the largest island on the Pacific coast of North America. Of which Canadian province is this island a part? All right, Jacob again.
Newfoundland.
No, Newfoundland, that's East Coast, looking on the west side for British Columbia. All right, we have another math question for you, Southwest. So read this twice and again have some extra time to come up with the answer. What is the largest prime number that can be rolled with a pair of dice? So again, what is the largest prime number that can be rolled with a pair of dice? All right, Northwoods Park. Isabel.
11.
11 is correct. A 6 and a 5. 12 is the largest you can get with two sixes, but that 6 and 5 is the largest prime. All right, in Southwest, your final question for our first round is a science question. Which word, beginning with the letter E, did the Kentucky Education Department edit out and replace in 1999 with change over time in its curriculum, stating what should be taught in biology classes? Brittany.
Evolution.
Evolution is correct. All right, and that is your 7 questions, Southwest. We're now going to move to our team from Northwoods Park for your 7 questions. So here's your first one. It is a geology question. Identify the mixture of liquid rock, gases, and mineral crystals that surfaces through cracks in the Earth's crust and mantle and forms igneous rock. Jacob.
Magma.
Magma is correct. Next, we have a literary characters question for you, Northwoods Park. Name Robert Louis Stevenson's fictional doctor who was concerned with the problems of good and evil in his laboratory in London. All right, Southwest. All right, that character is Dr. Henry Jekyll. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. All right. Next, we have a geography question for you, Northwoods Park. In which city was the most famous Pantheon, a temple to all the gods, completed around 27 BC? It was later destroyed and rebuilt by Hadrian in about 128 AD. Jacob.
Athens.
No, not Athens. Southwest. All right, that was Rome. Looking for Rome there. All right, our next question for you, Northwoods Park, is a science question. Name the forest in which the dominant trees shed their leaves during certain seasons and then grow new ones. All right, Southwest. All right, that type of forest is a deciduous forest. Deciduous. Next, we have a world history question for you, Northwoods Park. Name the women warriors who aided the Trojans during the Trojan War. It's Southwest. All right, those were the Amazons. The Amazons. All right, our next question is a sports figure question. Identify the retired Japanese baseball player who is the world's home run king with 868 home runs. His 2-letter name is an English interjection used to express surprise. All right, Southwest. All right, the person is Sadaharu O is the last name, O-H. All right, and our final question for our first round is a U.S. history question for you, Northwoods Park. Which group who served in Vietnam are now represented by a statue adjacent to the 3 bronze GIs who gazed toward the black wall of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial? Over 265,000 of these people served in the armed forces during the Vietnam War. All right, Southwest. All right, and this group is women soldiers, women GIs who served in Vietnam. All right, and that is the end of our first round. We'll be right back with our score after this break.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
Welcome back to Middle School Academic Derby. After our first round, our score is Northwoods Park 6 and Southwest 6. We're going to move now into our bonus round where either team may buzz in and answer the question. If the question is answered correctly, there will be 4 bonus questions asked in which the answer must be given to the captain of the team. We have some new team members, so let's introduce them now, beginning with our team from Northwoods Park.
Kyle Colasanti, grade 8.
Jada, grade 7.
Sydney 6.
And now our new players from Southwest Middle School.
Peyton Hughes, grade 7.
Ricky Arnold, grade 7.
Abigail Smith, grade 6.
All right. Now, Jacob, you're the captain for your team, and Brittany, you're the captain for your team. Okay. Go ahead and pick up your buzzers, guys, and we're going to get started. Our first question in this toss-up round is a sports question. What is the capital of the state that is home to the Mariners, a Major League Baseball team? Sydney.
I think it's the New York.
No, that's not correct. Okay, Southwest. Abigail.
Maryland.
No, not Maryland. We're looking on the West Coast for this one. It was Washington State, the Seattle Mariners, and Olympia is the capital of Washington. All right, our next question is a legends question for you. Name the son of Lancelot and Elaine who was successful in his quest for the Holy Grail in the legend of King Arthur. All right, that was Sir Galahad. Sir Galahad. All right, our next question, as I get my page turned here, is going to be a literature question for you. In which Aesop fable does an animal who can't reach the grapes say they were probably sour anyway? Jada.
Fox and the Grapes.
That is correct, the fox and the grapes. All right, Northwoods Park, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify the animals that provide the following features of mythological creatures. So I'm going to give you a feature and you need to tell me the kind of animal that it is. So number 1, hair of Medusa. Number 2, head of the Minotaur. Number 3, legs of Pan, the god of forests and pastures. And number 4, the body of a harpy. All right, Jacob, what you got?
For number 1, we have Hydra and nothing for anyone else.
Okay, I'm afraid that's not correct. Okay, Brittany, anything? All 4 of them are still available for you guys.
For 1, we have Gorgon. And 3, we have 2, we have Bull. And 3 have Satyr.
Okay, anything else? All right, number 2 was correct. So the head of a minotaur is a bull. Medusa's hair was snakes. So we're looking for snakes there. The legs of Pan, that would be a goat. A satyr is another kind of thing. I think that's what Pan was, but looking for the legs of a goat. And the body of a harpy is a bird, All right, next we have a dance question for you. Give the term for a theatrical dance presentation characterized by gestures and steps that tells a story. Usually, Peyton?
Ballet.
Ballet is correct. Usually with costumes and scenery, and we're going to say Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake is an example of that type of presentation. And it is ballet. All right, so Southwest, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify each of the following concerning ballet. Number 1, French phrase for a dance for 2 persons. Number 2, art and technique of dance notation, especially the art of creating and arranging ballets. Number 3, a French phrase for a group of dancers who perform as an ensemble. And number 4, number of classical positions with which all ballet movements start and end. And remember, these are all specific to ballet. Okay? All right, Brittany, nice and clear and loud so that I can hear you, okay?
For 1, we have duet. For 2, we have recital. And for 4, we have acts.
Okay, I'm afraid none of those are correct. Jacob, anything? All right. The French phrase for the dance with 2 persons is a pas de deux, so 2 people, pas de deux. Choreography is that art of arranging and creating ballets. The corps de ballet is the French phrase for the group of dancers, and there are 5 classical positions in ballet, 5 positions. All right, next we have a math question for you. And as we did in our first round, I'll read the question twice and you have a little bit extra time to come up with the answer, so listen closely as we go through. Find the height of the trapezoid whose bases are of lengths 8 centimeters and 10 centimeters and whose area is 36 square centimeters. Sydney.
80?
That is not correct. Let me repeat it one more time for Southwest. Find the height of the trapezoid whose bases are of lengths 8 centimeters and 10 centimeters and whose area is 36 square centimeters. Okay, looking there for 4 centimeters, 4 centimeters. All right, next we have a terms question for you, kind of a vocabulary question for you. What is the term for the temperature at which all nuclear motion stops? Sydney.
I think it's wind.
That is incorrect. Okay. Ricky?
Absolute 0.
Absolute 0 is the correct answer for that one. All right, so Southwest, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify the freezing point of water on each of the following temperature scales. Number 1, Fahrenheit. Number 2, Celsius. Number 3, Kelvin. And number 4, the Rankine scale. All right, Brittany.
For 1, we have 32 degrees. For 2, we have 0. And that's it.
All right. Jacob, anything for 3 or 4?
No.
All right. The Kelvin water freezes at 273 degrees and 492 degrees on the Rankine scale. Okay. All right, and that sound tells us that we've come to the end of our second round. We'll be right back with our lightning round after this break. Please stay tuned.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back to the Middle School Academic Derby Lightning Round. At the end of our second round, our score is Northwoods Park 8 and Southwest 16. We're going to meet a new team player now. We have just one for this round for Southwest Middle School.
Gabby, 8th grade.
All right, thank you, Gabby. And for our lightning round, we're going to be asking a series of 20 questions in 2 minutes. You must wait until I call your name before you answer, so please remember to do that. And any incorrect answers will give points to the other team. And this is also one of those cases, too, if nobody rings in for an answer, I'm going to call time and we move on to the next one. Okay, so no ringing in to try and get it if somebody doesn't get it correct. So go ahead and pick up your buzzers. And I will tell you that all of the answers for this lightning round begin with the letter R. So the letter R is the word we are starting with on all of the answers that we've got for this round. Capital of Virginia. Jacob.
Richmond.
Correct. Snakes, lizards, and crocodiles are, Ricky?
Reptiles.
Correct. Capital of Italy. Jacob.
Rome.
Correct. President nicknamed Teddy. Ricky.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Correct. State whose capital is Providence. Jacob.
Rhode Island.
Correct. Only president elected to 4 terms. Ricky.
James. Never mind.
All right, incorrect. Okay. Legendary home of Dracula, a country whose capital is Bucharest. Jacob.
Romania.
Correct. Red-breasted bird, which is considered a sign of spring. Aiden.
Robin.
Correct. Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, Peter, and Bugs Bunny. Isabel.
Rabbits.
Correct. Home appliance used to keep things cold. Jacob.
Refrigerator.
Correct. The cover for the top of a building. Gabby.
Roof.
Correct. Device in a car that prevents the engine from overheating. Gabby.
Radiator.
Oh, just in time. All right. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Aiden.
Reindeer.
Correct. The world's tallest trees, they grow near the Pacific coast. Jacob.
Redwood.
Correct. A business where customers order food already prepared to eat. Isabel.
Restaurant.
Correct. World's largest country whose capital is Moscow. Jacob.
Russia.
Correct. Blackbird is the title of a poem by, or Blackbird in the title of a poem by Poe. Isabel.
Raven.
Correct. Rats, mice, squirrels, guinea pigs. Aiden.
Rodents.
Correct. There are 3 kinds: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Aiden.
Rocks.
Correct. And the Wizard of Oz, it is made of yellow bricks. Isabel.
Road.
Correct. And that's our questions. So a couple that we didn't get. We got hung up on the president. Do you remember who it is now, Ricky? No, not Richard Nixon. It is Franklin Roosevelt, the only president elected to 4 terms. So that was where I told you guys during the break that we needed to specify. You guys were good there. So Franklin Roosevelt was the answer for that one. And I think that was the only one that we didn't get an answer to, was that one, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So, oh, no, Romania was the legendary home of Dracula. Okay, that was the other one that we did not get an answer to. Good job on that one, guys. Very good, very good. So that's the end of our final round. We'll be right back with our final score after this break. Please stay tuned.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back. We had a very exciting lightning round, and at the end of our final round, our final score for today's match is Northwoods Park 40 and Southwest 24. We'd like to thank everybody for watching and ask you to stay tuned for our next match featuring Hunters Creek and Newbridge Middle Schools. Thank you. Welcome to Middle School Academic Derby. I'm Brent Anderson, and I'll be your moderator for today's match between the Bears from Newbridge Middle School and the Panthers from Hunters Creek Middle School. Forgot it there for a second. Let's get started by introducing our teams. First, we're going to meet our team from Hunters Creek Middle School, coached by Jeffrey Ardito.
Connor.
Olivia, 8th grade.
Lucas, 8th grade.
Julie, 7th grade.
And now our team from Newbridge Middle School, coached by Angie Bender.
Lauren, 8th grade.
Taylor, 6th grade.
Alexander, 7th grade.
Harper, 6th grade.
All right. Now in our first round, we're going to ask 7 questions to each team. If the first team doesn't answer, the second team will have a chance at the same question. After the first team has heard all their questions and had a chance to answer, the second team is going to have the same opportunity. We begin this round always with our team on the top row, which is Newbridge Middle School this time around. So go ahead, Newbridge, pick up your buzzers, and we're going to get you started with a geography question. In which alpine country is Geneva one of its major cities? Alexander.
Switzerland.
Switzerland is correct. All right, next we have a math question for you. And in any question that is a math computation, this is for everybody and in for all of our rounds, I'll read the question twice and you have a little bit of extra time to come up with the answer. So pencil and paper ready. What percentage is the equivalent of 2/5? Again, what percentage is the equivalent of 2/5? Alexander.
40%.
40% is correct. All right, next we have a government agencies question for you. The Oklahoma disaster rescue effort of 6 56-member urban search and rescue teams, 300 local officials, 200 FBI agents, 75 ATF officers, and 45 U.S. Marshals was coordinated by which agency known as FEMA? All right, Hunters Creek. FEMA is known as better as the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Federal Emergency Management Agency. All right, next we have a science question for you, Newbridge. Scientists say the discovery in 1994 of 2 new dinosaur species in Africa that resemble dinosaurs found on other continents implies that they may have spread worldwide when there was only a single supercontinent that is now known by what name? Alexander.
Pangea.
Pangea is correct. All right, next we have a children's literature question for you, Newbridge. In William Pinet Dubois' 1948 story, how many balloons did Professor William Sherman use to try to fly around the world before being brought down over Krakatoa, where he discovers a strange community? Harper?
100?
No, not 100. Hunters Creek? All right. 21. 21 is what we're looking at there. All right, our next question for you, Newbridge, is a U.S. neighborhoods question, U.S. city neighborhoods question. Name the wealthy Northwest neighborhood in Washington, D.C., known for its early American architecture. Harper?
Pennsylvania Avenue.
No, that's not correct. Hunters Creek? All right. That neighborhood is known as Georgetown. Georgetown. All right, and our final question for you, Newbridge, in this round is a math question for you. So again, read it twice and have a little extra time for the answers. So go ahead and pencil and paper ready. How many square feet are in a rectangular room 13 feet wide by 15 feet long? So again, how many square feet are in a rectangular room 13 feet wide by 15 feet long? Alexander?
195 square feet.
That is correct, 195. All right, we're going to move now to Hunters Creek for your 7 questions, and we're going to get you guys started with a U.S. history question. Identify the following, which stumped more than 70% of the graduating college seniors in a 1996 poll. Name Germany's 2 principal allies during World War II. Connor?
Italy and Japan.
That is correct. All right. Next, we have a literature question for you. Which 2 animals are named in the biblical passage quoted by Martin Luther King Jr. in accepting the Nobel Prize? Quote, and the blank and the blank shall lie down together, and every man shall sit under his own vine and fig tree, and none shall be afraid. Connor?
Lion and the lamb.
That is correct, lion and lamb. All right, we have another U.S. history question for you. Which name completes the following slogan? Remember the blank. Olivia?
Sorry, I didn't mean to buzz in.
Okay, we're going to have to give me an answer. No? Okay, let me finish the question for Newbridge then. Following the slogan, remember the blank. The slogan refers to the ship sunk in Havana, Cuba's harbor in 1898. Okay, that one was the Maine. Remember the Maine. All right, we have a vocabulary question for you now, Hunters Creek. The last living thoroughbred Triple Crown winner died in May of 2002 at the age of 28. Complete his name, Seattle blank, by giving the past tense of the verb slay. All right, Newbridge? Taylor?
Slain.
No, not slain, slew. Seattle Slew was the name of the horse. All right, and we have a math question for you guys now, Hunters Creek. So pencil and paper ready, and I'll read it twice, so listen closely. What is Angela's final free throw shooting percentage if she made 10 straight after hitting 20 of her first 30 this season? So listen closely again. What is Angela's final free throw shooting percentage if she made 10 straight after hitting 20 of her first 30 this season? All right, Newbridge? Alexander?
6%.
No, looking for a little higher than that one. That one required a little complex math and ended up being 30 out of 40 that she hit total, and it was 75%. 75%. All right, next we have a vocabulary question for you, Hunters Creek. It's actually going to be a spelling question. A new browser program for computers enables users to post messages on top of others. Web pages in what, others' web pages in what page designers say is a defacing of a serious work. Spell the word of Italian origin that names alteration or defacement of original work or public places. Okay, Newbridge. Alexander.
Graffiti, Graffiti.
That is correct, graffiti. All right. And our final question for our first round for you, Hunters Creek, is a biology question. The so-called belly button in humans is produced when the cord through which a fetus gets nourishment while in the womb is cut. Name this cord. Lucas.
The umbilical cord.
That is correct. And that is our final question for this round. And we'll be right back with our score after these messages.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you!
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand.
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
Welcome back to Middle School Academic Derby. After our first round, our score is Hunters Creek 6 and Newbridge 10. We're going to move now into our bonus round where either team may buzz in and answer the question. If the question is answered correctly, there will be 4 bonus questions asked, the answers to which must be given to the captain of the team. Now, we have some new team members to introduce, so let's meet them now, beginning with our team from Hunters Creek Middle School.
Annalyn, grade 8.
Stephanie, grade 8.
Kate, grade 7.
And now our new players from Newbridge Middle School.
Kai Hercula, 6th grade.
Yasmin, 8th grade.
Sophia, 8th grade.
Eliana, 7th grade.
All right, guys. Now, Anna Lynn, you're the captain for your team, and Sophia, you're the captain for your team. Okay. Now, go ahead and pick up your buzzers, and we're going to begin this second round with a history toss-up question. In which century was the Eiffel Tower constructed in Paris? Kai.
The 18th century.
That is incorrect. Hunters Creek. Kate.
The 19th century.
The 19th century is correct. 1889, which puts it in the 19th century. All right, Hunters Creek, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify the century of each of the following whose dates end in 89. Okay, so identify the century. We're looking for the century here. Number 1, the French Revolution. Number 2, the 100 Years' War is not yet half over. Number 3, Tsar Peter the Great launches a coup and becomes the sole ruler of Russia. And number 4, Louis XIV declared war on Great Britain. All right, Annalyn, what you guys got?
Nothing.
Nothing for those? Okay, Sophia.
For number 1, we have the 18th century. And then for number 4, also the 18th century.
Okay, number 1 was correct. So it was the 18th century. That was 1789. Number 2, the 100 Years' War is not yet half over, was the 14th century. That was 1389. The war lasted from 1337 to 1453. 1689 was the date that Tsar Peter the Great launched his coup, and that was the 17th century, and also the 17th century for Louis XIV declaring war on Great Britain, also in 1689. All right, next we have a trivia toss-up question for you. Identify the federation of 7 independent Arab states with the initials UAE lying along the eastern coast of the Arabian Peninsula at the south end of the Persian Gulf. Sophia.
United Arabian Emirates or something like that.
Okay, yeah, we'll take that. We'll accept United Arabian or United Arab Emirates. Okay. All right, Newbridge, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify the following by giving an answer beginning with the letter U. The letter U will begin all of these answers. Number 1, the name by which the national flag of Great Britain is known. Number 2, Harriet Beecher Stowe's famous anti-slavery novel. Number 3, famous uncle created by Joel Chandler Harris. And number 4, the term used in psychology for the part of the mind that rarely has awareness. All right, Sophia.
For number 1, we have Union Jack. For number 2, we have Uncle Tom's Cabin. And for 3, we have Uncle Tom.
Okay, number 1 and number 2 are correct. Annalyn, anything for 3 or 4? All right.
Uncle Sam for 3.
No, that's incorrect. It is Uncle Remus was number 3. And number 4, that term in psychology for the part of the mind that rarely has awareness is your unconscious. Your unconscious. All right, our next toss-up question that we have, as soon as I can get my page turned here, is going to be a science toss-up question for you. Which term is used in science to designate the process of changing or being changed from a gas to a liquid? Sophia.
Condensation.
Condensation is correct. All right. Newbridge, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify each of the following terms used in physical science. Number 1, temperature at which a solid substance becomes a liquid. Number 2, process of changing or being changed from a liquid to a gas. Number 3, substance that has definite volume but no shape and is intermediate between a solid and a gas. And number 4, law that states that pressure and volume of a gas vary inversely. All right, Sophia, whenever you're ready.
1, melting point. 2, evaporation. 3, liquid.
All right. Number 1 and number 1, 2, and 3 are all correct. Annalyn, anything from you guys for number 4? No. Okay. Boyle's law is number 4. That states that pressure and volume of a gas vary inversely. All right, next we have a math question for you. So pencil and paper ready. And again, as we did in our first round, I'll read this one twice and you have some extra time to come up with the answer. If one of the acute angles of a right triangle has a degree measure of 27, what is the degree measure of the other acute angle? Again, if one of the acute angles of a right triangle has a degree measure of 27, what is the degree measure of the other acute angle? Kai.
Is it also 27?
That is incorrect. Hunter's Creek. Kate?
63.
63 is correct, because we'd be looking for a 90 total on that one. So 63, 27 gives us that 90. All right, Hunters Creek, here are your 4 bonus questions. Answer each of the following math questions. And the way we'll do this, I'll read through them once, and then I will come back and read through them again. Okay, since it is math computation, so we'll get you those twice, once through and then once back again. Number 1, what is 10 raised to the power of 0? Number 2, what is the sum of the absolute value of negative 10 and the absolute value of 2? Number 3, what is the area of a triangle with the sides of lengths 6, 8, and 10? And number 4, if A divided by 3 equals B and 2B equals B, what is the numerical value of A? So let me read all of those again for you. Number 1, what is 10 raised to the power of 0? Number 2, what is the sum of the absolute value of negative 10 and the absolute value of 2? Number 3, what is the area of a triangle with sides of lengths 6, 8, and 10? And if A divided by 3 equals B and 2B equals B, what is the numerical value of A? All right, Annalyn, what you got?
For 1 is wait, no. 2 is 12 and 3 is 480.
All right, anything else?
No.
All right, number 2 was correct. Number 2 is correct. So Sophia, number 1, number 3, and number 4 are still available for you guys.
For number 1, we have 1.
Anything for 3 or 4?
No, sir.
Okay, and that is correct as well. So number 1 was 1, number 2 was 12, number 3, the area of the triangle is 24, and in the final one there, the value of A equals 0. All right, that sound tells us that we've come to the end of our second round. We're going to be right back with our lightning round and our score after this break. Please stay tuned.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the Middle School Academic Derby Lightning Round. At the end of our second round, our score is Hunters Creek 12 and Newbridge 28. We're going to meet our new team members now, starting with our players from Hunters Creek Middle School.
Justin, grade 8.
Olivia, grade 7.
Emma, grade 7.
And now our new players from Newbridge Middle School.
Jack, grade 6.
Ian, 8th.
Angela, 7th grade.
All right. Now for our lightning round, we're going to be asking a series of 20 questions in 2 minutes. You must wait until I call your name for your answer or before you give your answer. And any incorrect answers do give points to the other team. So be aware of that as we go through. So go ahead and pick up your buzzers, and as you do so, I will tell you that all of the answers for this lightning round begin with the letter T. The letter T. All right, so buzzers ready, and here we go. State whose capital is Nashville. Sophia.
Tennessee.
Correct. 33rd President of the United States who served after the death of Franklin Roosevelt. Connor.
Harry Truman.
That is correct. Huge carnivorous dinosaur with tiny forelimbs. Jack.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That is correct. Large predatory striped Asian cat. Sophia.
Tiger.
Correct. Luxurious ocean liner which sank after striking an iceberg. Justin.
Titanic.
Correct. Norse god of storms and war whose main weapon was a hammer. Sophia.
Thor.
Correct. In 1773, men disguised as Indians threw chests of this into Sophia.
Tea.
Correct. Periodic rise and fall of the world's oceans caused Sophia.
Tide.
Correct. State whose capital is Austin. Sophia.
Texas.
Correct. Either a large bird or a country whose capital is Ankara. Angela.
Turkey.
Correct. Device for measuring temperature. Angela.
Thermometer.
Correct. Capital of Japan. Jack.
Tokyo.
Correct. A series of games or contests leading to the selection of a champion. Justin.
Tournament.
Correct. Capital of Florida. Justin.
Tallahassee.
Correct. Sound made by lightning. Justin.
Thunder.
Correct. Citrus fruit, smaller and easier to peel. Angela.
Tangerine.
Correct. Immature form of a toad or frog. Jack.
Tadpole.
Correct. 27th president who followed Theodore Roosevelt. Justin.
Harry Truman.
Nope, incorrect.
Nope.
Large hairy spider, sometimes kept. Jack.
Tarantula.
Correct. And a brass instrument with 3 valves. Olivia.
Trumpet.
Correct. Or tuba would work for that one as well. And that was our last question. So let's see. The only one we didn't get was the 27th president followed Theodore Roosevelt. Got to go back. Truman was after Franklin. Theodore Roosevelt was followed by William Howard Taft. William Howard Taft. All right, but very good job with that one, guys. That was the only one that we did not get an answer to as we went through. So that ends our final round, and we'll be right back with our final score after this break. Please stay tuned.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. Our final score for today's match is Hunters Creek 24 and Newbridge 56. We'd like to thank you for joining us on Middle School Academic Derby today, and we'd also like to thank our scorekeeper, Miss Erica Smith, for her assistance with today's matches. For all of us at Onslow County Schools, thank you for watching and have a great evening.